Hey gamers, Stogie here, and today I am bringing you a tag teaming episode. I believe this is episode 8 with Mr. Nick Broadhurst, aka Toffee Man, on Nuketown. And you'll see in the beginning of this, I switched classes a couple times just trying to get comfortable with what's going to work against these guys. Totally forgot. Wasn't really anticipating Nuketown, so I didn't have Flak Jacket and all that set up and had to switch to it. But this commentary is not going to be about the gameplay. I actually wanted to talk about the Xbox One. So, as you guys know, currently I am an Xbox player. I have every console that's out right now. So I guess I don't have the Wii U, but I have the Wii, I have the PS3, and I have had the Xbox 360. And I've had them all for the majority of their lifespan. I've actually been through a couple Xbox 360s. I'm on my third one. My first two, Red Ring of Death on me, and this last one I got the 120 gigabyte Elite Black, and it's lasted me, man, quite a few years now. It has to be 5 or 6 years. So it's lasted quite a long time. But with that said, leading into the Xbox One, this is one thing that I'm a little bit leery on Microsoft about. The PS3s did not have the hardware issues that the early Xboxes did. The early adopters on the Xbox really got screwed with those heatsink issues and had bad welds in them and whatnot. Now, I always had like Best Buy replacement plan warranties, so it didn't really hurt me at all, except for, maybe $30 each time I had to get one to buy a new warranty. But I do want to just make note of that, because as the new consoles coming out, I think quality in electronics over the last 6 to 7 years has really, really improved. I think the way they're manufacturing these devices is really becoming more improved, more streamlined, and more quality oriented. So you have devices that are lasting longer and longer. Any device I've bought in the last 4 or 5 years, I've bought the replacement warranties on, and I've not used any of them. They've all performed exactly like you would expect a device that costs so much to do. So you guys all know the Xbox One was revealed. Call of Duty Ghosts was revealed with it. That was kind of cool. I just want to run down some of the things that I'm thinking about with the Xbox One. Now, me personally, I was leaning towards the Xbox being my next-gen gaming console. If I go console, I was contemplating possibly going PC and still am. But if I go console, I really, really was leaning towards the Xbox. And the primary reason, honestly, are twofold. Xbox Live, I feel like even though you have to pay for it, it is just an amazing online service. It's never down. It's always solid. Your connections are what you would expect to the servers from these game providers, and I just feel like it's been a really, really good system. I feel like we've gotten a lot of polished aspects with the system. I feel like the software has been really fluid. The updates are really good. I've had a bad experience with updates on my PS3, so I think that's one aspect of it. I also think another aspect of it for me is the controller. I really am attached to the Xbox controller. Now, for years, I grew up on the PS1 and the PS2. That's literally all I played till the original Xbox came out. And then I got that Xbox, and I was not a fan of that controller. It was big and fat. It was like a little spaceship. And I'm sure you guys remember it. But when the Xbox 360 came out, I literally could not play with that PS3 controller any longer. The analog joysticks for the placements of my thumbs and the convex triggers and the convex thumbsticks all threw me off. Every aspect of that controller now became uncomfortable to me once I held the Xbox controller. And I'm really, really worried about that for the next gen. If somebody told me that I could get an Xbox One controller for the PS4, that would be something that would really, really interest me. And maybe down the road they'll have some kind of weird peripheral, but you know that the third-party controllers aren't usually as good as the primary ones that come out with consoles, and it takes a long time for them to come out. So if I want to play this thing anytime in the near future, I'm going to have to go with the console that I like the controller on. And that's a big deal for me. I'd say that's in my top 3 or 4 for choices in decision-making. Another thing that's at the top of the list for me is release date. There are 2 games coming out this fall that I really, really, really want to play on next gen as soon as possible. Those being BF4, Battlefield 4, and Call of Duty Ghosts. Now, I know when those games are coming out. Call of Duty Ghosts is coming out at the beginning of November, and Battlefield 4 is coming out right at the end of October. From my standpoint, if one of these console makers can beat the other one to market by about a month and be released before these games or right when these games come out, that is huge in my mind. Now, having the supply to satisfy the demand is a totally different situation, but assuming that they have a decent supply and 40% of people who actually want to get the console can actually get their hands on one, I think that console is going to have a demanding lead in the market, whichever one that is. So being timely to market, to be in time to play these games that I really want to play, is really important to me. Another thing that's really important to me is that my console be about my gaming experience. Now, I thought a lot of the Xbox One things that were announced were really awesome, like the TV and stuff. Initially, I thought that was really awesome. Now, what I found out since then is that you still have to have your cable or satellite provider box there to hook it up into your Xbox. So for now, all this thing is doing is actually reskinning your cable programming and putting it through the Xbox, kind of streamlining your interface. So that's not as attractive to me as I originally thought. But when you look at the contracts that they're making with the NFL, with ESPN, and then having Hulu and Netflix, Microsoft is making a clear, concerted effort to get television programming as part of its package. It wants to offer the all-in-one system. I think sometime in the Xbox One's lifespan, you're going to be able to get your local channels and a lot of the other channels that you love streamlined instantly through the Xbox. I gotta believe that's their goal, and that's where they're going. If they hit that, and being Microsoft and being really good at programming and whatnot with Windows, they will dominate PS3 because in the U.S. because that's not going to happen with the PS4. Or sorry, I said PS3, PS4 in the U.S. That's just not going to happen. That would be a big deal for me because my wife would enjoy it, but for me, going back to what I was saying, gaming is the reason I want to buy this console. So you guys all know I love FPSs. That's primarily what I play. I'm going to be playing Destiny, Battlefield 4, and Call of Duty Ghosts throughout the next year or two. I want a game that's centered around that FPS experience, which means I'm playing with a controller, I got a monitor, I'm sitting a couple feet from it, I'm gaming out. Kinect looks really awesome. A lot of the features they showed were unbelievably fluid and quick, but I'm not going to play Kinect. My wife's going to play Kinect. So I really, really care about the pure gaming experience. So I have a lot of hesitations about the Microsoft experience with the One presentation for now. I don't know if they'll stick around. I really want to hear more. I'm super excited for E3. I'll be doing some videos around E3 talking about some of the games that I'm excited about and what was revealed. I'm sure you guys will get all your information, but if you want to come talk with me on my channel about it, I'd love to talk with you guys. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm actually really excited with some of the changes that they made to the Xbox controller, like the vibration feedback and the triggers. That sounds cool as hell. But until next time, guys, that is my feedback on the Xbox One. Talk to you later.